actually, if you're watching, this is the last live or Facebook live for Run Talk Run, because I believe Nicholas is starting his runs again from next week, in small groups obviously, to meet the criteria that we need them to meet. But I will be doing some Zoom Pilates. You will have to subscribe, and I'll send details out. I'll post them on the page when I've decided the date and the time that I'm going to do the Zoom classes, and I'll let you have details of how to access them. There will be a small cost, obviously, but it won't be very much at all. So what we'll do is we'll start off tonight's class in our usual way by making sure that we're in our Pilates stance and that we're in neutral spine. So Pilates stance means that you're balanced, okay? So you need to make sure your toes, especially your big toe, your little toe and your heel, are embedded into the mat, okay? So rock backwards and forwards if you need to, just to get that feel, to make sure that those 3 points are embedded in the mat or the carpet or the towel or whatever you're standing on. And then we want to rock backwards and forwards to get our pelvis in neutral, our back in neutral, by rocking our pelvis backwards and forwards. So, excuse me, so it's not having your bottom stuck out, and it's not having your hip bones too far forward. Your hip bones and your pelvic bones should be aligned. So you just sort of rock backwards, sort of exaggerate your rock, tilt your pelvis backwards and forwards until you come into somewhere in the middle, and that's neutral. And for me, that's there. Okay, so we have soft knees in Pilates. Our legs are very often hip width apart. Our toes are all pointing forward, so they're not splayed out or in. And our shoulder blades are down towards our back pockets. And we hold our head high, so we sort of stretch our neck out a little bit. Imagine you've got a string pulling you up, okay? And that's us, we're ready to go. So first of all, we start off as we always do, and we'll do a few ear to shoulders, just to start loosening up our neck muscles and starting to feel the muscles in our neck. So if you do left ear to left shoulder, and then back to the middle, and then right ear to right shoulder, and back to the middle. So we do a couple more of those, left to left, and back, and right to right. And you're just literally dropping your head to either side. You're not bringing your head forward, and you're not taking it back. Okay, so we now go into our shoulders, and we're going to start waking up our shoulder joints and our upper back. So just having your arms out, you don't need to drop your elbows down or don't have them too high, okay? So they're just sort of parallel. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go back 2 or 3 times, and then we're going to go forwards, okay? And we're going to take this a step further this evening, which we don't usually do, so it's a little bit different. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some rotation into the waist to work our oblique muscles. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend forwards, okay, from the waist, rotating your waist. Your hips and your legs, your knees shouldn't be moving around, they're staying still. It's just working from the waist and the shoulders. So we're just really working here. And then we're going to go backwards. So back to this position and then work back. So just rotating your waist side to side, which is really good for your spine. You're giving your spine a good workout here. Okay, and back, and then arms down your side. And we're now going to do a few arm circles. So arms out, and we're just really circling our arms, working our arms here. Okay, try and switch on your muscles. By that I mean try and stretch your hands and your arms out so that you can feel your muscles engaging. And let's go back. So we're just going to take our arms back a few times, and we are starting to warm up now. Well, I certainly am. So arms down, and just do some wrist circles. So just to wake your wrists up and lubricate your wrist joints, and then back. Okay, a few wrist circles. We're now going to go into floating arms. So just bringing your arms straight up above your head and curve them slightly, and then all the way back down, but slowly. Pilates is all about slow, concise movements. We're controlling our movements, okay? You also need to make sure, don't forget, that your tummy button is pulled in towards your spine. So you're not breathing in, you're breathing normally, but your tummy button is pulled in and you'll feel your core muscles engage. Okay, we'll do one more floating arm. So float your arms all the way to the top, curve slightly, and then float them all the way down. And we finish off with some shoulder shrugs. So bring your shoulders up towards your ears and then let them down slowly, okay? It's a controlled movement. So you're not just letting them drop, you're controlling the way that you move your shoulders up and down. So just a couple more up and down, and then up and down. Now we're going to go into our roll down to get down onto the mat to do 20 minutes or so of Pilates on the mat. Okay, so just check you're still in neutral, tummy buttons pulled in, shoulder blades are down, and you do an exaggerated roll forward. Okay, so slowly, 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 all the way down. Okay, when you get to the bottom, just hang there for a couple of seconds, and then slowly come up, one vertebrae at a time. Okay, and let's do another one. As you start to go down, inhale at the top, and then exhale as you roll down. So inhale through your nose, exhale as you're going down. Okay, make sure your knees are soft, your tummy button's pulled into your spine, and you're doing this movement slowly and controlled. And then all the way back up. Okay, another good thing to do when you're doing your roll down to make sure that you don't tuck your chin in too tightly is to imagine that you've got a peach or apricot under your chin. So you bring your chin in slightly, but not too far. So inhale and roll down. And there we go, all the way down as far as you can go. Okay, and just when you get to the bottom, I just want you to hang loose just like a rag doll for a couple of seconds. Okay, you'll start to feel this in the backs of your legs all the way up. Okay, but it's a good workout for your spine and the muscles around it. So now I want you to walk your hands down towards the front of your mat. Okay, just to about there, and this is downward dog. So you're stretching your muscles at the back of your calf, you're stretching your hamstrings, you're using your arms for strength and your hands and your wrists. Okay, and then drop onto your knees. Have your knees further apart than hip width, and then just drop your bottom back towards your ankles or towards your heels as far as they will go, and we're going into child's pose or rest position. So your arms go out in front of you, your forehead goes onto the mat, and you just rest for a couple of seconds. So, like so. I'm sitting up to tell you this because I know if I talk to you when I lay down, it's a little bit muffled. So when you're in child's pose, you then walk your arms or your hands over to one side of the mat. So if you walk to the left-hand side, you then stretch your right-hand side, because this will give you a lovely stretch all the way down your arm and the side into your tummy and into your waist, through your oblique muscles and your arm muscles as well. And then we walk to the middle, and then we go back over. So, we're in child's pose, and now we're just going to walk over. I'm walking to the left-hand side. Okay, so you walk over there and you stretch your right arm. And then we walk back to the middle. And then we walk to the right side. And we stretch our left arm. And this is giving me a really good stretch all the way down here. And then we walk back to the middle, and then we do one on either side. So I'm just going to sort of show you. So what you're doing, you're in child's pose in the middle, you're walking over to one side with your arms. I've walked to the left, so I'm stretching out my right hand, my right arm. Feel the stretch all the way down there, all the way down your side. Okay, you'll feel it in your upper back muscles as well. Walk back to the middle. Okay, to your child's pose, and then walk back over to the other side. So for me, this is the right, I think it's left if you're looking at me, and you stretch the opposite arm to the side that you've walked over to. And then we go back to the middle, okay, and we just go back into child's pose. So give yourself a rest, and then lie down on your tummy. And we're going to do some swimming. So with swimming, we just keep our head lifted slightly off the mat, so our head and our chest are lifted, but we're using our core muscles, we're not using our neck to lift up here. So make sure your tummy button is pulled in, lift your head and your chest slightly, and as you lift one arm, so I'm lifting my left arm, I lift my right leg, okay? And then I put those down, and I'm now lifting my right arm and my left leg. And then put them down. Then the other side again, so left arm and right leg, and just hold them there, keeping your tummy button pulled in. You are using your core muscles here, but you'll feel that in your leg if you're pointing your toe and stretching your leg. And down, and then the other side. So right arm and left leg. And down. We're now going to kneel up, because we're going to take that a step further. So we're going to do some balancing. I'll turn around for this one. For some reason I find it easier to work this way around. So what we're going to do now is hands are under my shoulders, knees are under my hips, legs are hip width apart, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift my left arm and my right leg. And you're just balancing. This is really good for balance. Okay? And then take them down. And now I'm lifting my right arm and my left leg. If you can't lift this high, doesn't matter, just lift them as high as you can. Okay? The aim eventually is to get them parallel. This is excellent for your balance and strengthen the arms and legs as well. So again, let's go the other side. So I'm doing left arm and right leg. Just holding, keep your tummy button pulled in. Just look towards the front of your mat, don't lift your head up. And hold, and then down, and then the other side. So for me, left leg, right arm. Okay, I'm really strengthening the arm and the leg that are on the floor here, and I'm lengthening the muscles in the arm and leg that are balancing. Okay, so put that down. So now we're just going to sit and do a couple of exercises. Okay, so feet planted on the mat. Make sure that you're sitting up on your sit bones, okay, so you're not lolling back here. So you're up on your sit bones, hold on to your thighs, keep your tummy button pulled in, shoulder blades down, so just make sure they're down and your shoulders away from your ears. And we're just going to go back a little bit of a curl back or a roll back. So we're just going back, just really onto the very lower part of your back around the coccyx. And then we're lifting back up. These are really good for your abdominal muscles, your tummy muscles. And back again. And we're just going to hold it. As I always say, Pilates isn't about fast manic movements. It's all slow and controlled. So hold and up. And inhale as you go back. And then exhale and hold. And then before you come up, you inhale and exhale as you come up. So up we go and back. We're going to take this a step further in a minute because we're going to take our elbow back with us. It's called bow and arrow. So a couple more of these. Ooh, my tummy muscles, I can feel them, and up. And then one more back. And up. And now we're going into bow and arrow. So as we go back here, all we do with one arm, with my left arm, I'm going to bring it back. And I'm going to look over my shoulder and my elbow to the back of the room. So, there we go. So we're just adding a little bit more rotation here to our waist. And then the other side. And then up. And then the left hand side I'm going back on. Look over your shoulder. And up. And we'll do two more either side. Back. And up. And try and come up onto your sit bones as you come up rather than curved. Okay? Back. And right up onto our sit bones. One more bow and arrow on the right. Back, well done everybody, this is tough. And then the left. Ooh. And then back up. And then you're going to roll all the way back slowly, 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 slowly. And pull your knees to your chest. And just give the bottom of your spine a little massage. So really good job there with your abs. Then turn the other way. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring ourselves up into a sitting position. We're going to take our legs out and we're just going to do a really good stretch for our back. So when you stretch out, you're not aiming to touch your toes, you're just aiming to have your arms around your ears, and you're just giving a really good stretch for your back. Okay, we're going to go back now and we're going to go into bridge. So with bridge, your feet go flat on the floor. Okay, check you're in neutral spine and your tummy button's pulled in, and that your shoulders are relaxed and your arms are relaxed. You're not using your arms to push yourself up here. You're not using your neck, you're just using your core muscles. And if you need a little bit of help, just push your heels into the ground as you come up. Okay, so hands are just quite loose, palms on the floor, and up we push into a bridge position. Just as far as you can go. When you get up, pull your bottom muscles in really tight. This is good for your glutes, and just hold it. And then we're going down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. We'll do another 2 bridges, and on the third one we're going to bring our arms over our head. So on the second bridge, just push up, slowly, slowly, all the way up as far as you can go. Okay? Pull your bottom muscles in, pull your tummy button in towards your back. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, and just hold it there for a second, and then gently take your bridge back down. And then on the third one, as we come up, you bring your arms with you so they end up over your head. So, tummy button in, inhale, exhale as you come up. Bring your arms up with you and have them over your head, but don't let them touch the floor, and just pulse your arms. Keep pulsing, we'll do 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, bring your arms back down, well done. And your back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you're back on the floor. Just hug your knees into your chest for a second, just to relax your back. Okay, and then we're going to bring ourselves onto our side. So, bringing yourself onto your side, we're going to do some really big leg circles. Okay, so if you want to lie flat out, you can. If you want to pop a cushion between your head and your arm, that's great. Or if you want to bring your head up onto your hand and your elbow on the mat, that's fine. If you're in this position, make sure that your waist hasn't just dropped into the mat. Okay, you need to keep your waist off the mat. Make sure you're balanced. So if you're not balanced, if you're going backwards or forwards, it's possibly because you've come out of neutral spine. So just check, rock your pelvis backwards and forwards. Make sure you're in neutral and your tummy button's pulled in. And just use your other hand as sort of a tripod to give you a little bit of balance if you need it. So bottom leg is lay flat, top leg pointed. We're going to do some really big leg circles. So we're going to start with our leg to the front, and we're going to bring it all the way over to the back. And then we're going to bring it all the way, it's actually an arc, not a circle, to the front. And then we're going to bring it all the way to the back. Okay, and all the way to the front, and then all the way to the back. So we're just doing some really big arcs. We can't do a circle because we can't put our foot through the floor, can we? So well done, guys. And back. And one more. And back. Okay. Now pop your leg onto your bottom leg, and we're going to do some leg kicks. So we're going to kick twice forward and then once back. And as we go back, we're going to bring our leg as far behind us as we can. So we're going kick, kick, back. Kick, kick, back. This movement is coming from the hip. So your upper body shouldn't be moving massively. Okay? So kick, kick, back. Kick, kick, back. And another one, kick, kick, back. And now I want you to bring your legs slightly in front of you. So if you're on a bath mat or bath towel or yoga mat or whatever, bring them slightly forwards of the mat. And we're just going to do some leg lifts. So we're just bringing our leg up and bringing it down. So top leg up, top leg down, up, down. We're going to go fast. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Pointed, up, down. So keep pointing and going up and down, and then we're going to flex in a minute. So now flex your foot so you send all the energy out through the heel. Can you feel a difference in the muscles you're moving? And we're just really taking that leg up and down. We're working from the hip. I can really feel this work in these muscles here, the glutes at the back. Okay, so up and down, a couple more times. Okay, and then we're going to go into oyster. So we just bend our legs into a sitting position. Raise your feet if you want to, or keep them on the mat. It's completely up to you. If you raise them, make sure your heels stay together. And we're just opening and closing, opening and closing. This is really good for the hips. Opens up the hips. Okay. So a couple more of these, and then we'll turn on to the other side and do the other side. Up, open, one more, open and close. Whew, I can really feel that's worked out my glutes here. So let's turn around and do the other side exactly the same. So we started off with those big arcs, didn't we? So make sure, because you've changed sides, that you're in your neutral spine, your tummy muscles pulled in, and let's do our arcs. So we're lifting up and over and up and over. Okay, so really big arcs, big rainbow. I just realised on camera I look as though I'm really pale, so I don't know if that's because I've got a light on above me, but I hope you can see me okay. I'm sure you can see the movement anyway. So a couple more arcs. Okay. And then we're going to go into our leg kicks. So that'll do for arcs. So leg down. So we're doing 2 kicks forward and 1 kick back. Making sure we're not using our upper body, we're just kicking out from the hips. So 1, 2, all the way back. 1, 2, all the way back. Really put some power in this, all the way back. 1, 2, all the way back. 1, 2, all the way back. 1, 2, all the way back. Let's do one more, all the way back. Okay, then feet towards the front of the mat. Okay, so or just in front of your mat, so you're bringing your legs out sort of on an angle. And we're going to do our leg lifts. So these are fairly quick. So we're pointing for the first few. So point, coming up, up, up. So not exactly a pulse, but a fairly fast movement with this tonight. Up, up. There we go. And in a minute we're going to flex our foot and send all the energy out through our heel. Okay, so flex and bring your leg up. Can you feel those different muscles in the back of your leg working? Brilliant. I'm actually finding this really quite tough tonight, so maybe it's just me, I don't know. Maybe my legs were feeling a little bit lazy. Up, up, and up. Phew, and then into oyster. So again, if you want to keep your feet on the mat, that's fine. Or if you want to bring your feet up, which is slightly tougher, just open and close. And we'll do about 10 oysters. So 3, 4, perfect. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Phew. And pop those legs down. What we're going to do now is we're just going to do a few stretches. So we're going to start off, still sitting up on your sit bones, legs out in front of you to start off with. And we're just going to actually, let me move back so you can see my legs. I'm just going to put my heels together. If you want to put the whole sole of your feet together, you can. If you want your legs slightly out, it's up to you. So the soles of my feet are together here, and I'm just going to turn. So I'm going to have my arms out, and I'm going to take one arm, so your right arm, and look over your right shoulder. And then bring it back. And then the left arm, and look over the left shoulder. And again, this is just a bit of rotation for your waist and your spine. It's really good to move your spine in lots of different positions. So we C-curve it, we elongate it, we rotate it, and the muscles at the side of your spine really benefit from this. So left, is your tummy button pulled in, and are you on your sit bones? If so, fabulous. Right, and one more either side. Left, and then right. Okay, and then come back in. Grab hold of your feet, and what I want you to do is really try and bring those feet towards you a little bit. Get your knees down towards the mat, okay? So we're just opening our hips again, and you'll start to feel your inside, the inside of your thighs, which are the adductors. You'll feel those muscles strengthening and lengthening as you press down just a little bit. So now what I want you to do, and I'm going to show you this from the side, so stay in that position. We're going to do something called Happy Baby. So you're going to grab hold of your feet, your toes, and you're just going to roll gently back, okay? And just have your feet up just like a baby, okay? Just stretch them and then stretch them out and bring them back, okay? Can you see why I turned sideways to camera? So just stretch them out. You really will feel the inside of your thighs benefiting from this. Stretch them out, bring them back, stretch them out and bring them back, and then pop your feet down on the mat. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take our legs out, flat out in front of us, still sort of hip width apart, and we're going to breathe in through our nose, and we're going to bring our head and our shoulders up, and as we exhale through our mouth, we're going to bring the rest of our body up to a sitting position with our arms stretched out in front of us, sort of around our ears. So we're going to C-curve our spine. Okay, so inhale, exhale as you go forward, and really stretch that spine as far as you can. And then come back, slowly, 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 keeping that tummy button in. Okay, and then just do exactly the same again. Inhale and exhale as you come up. And we're going to do 2 more of those, and we're going to stay sitting up on the last one. Okay, so inhale and exhale as you come up. Last one. Go back slowly, 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 slowly. And then inhale, exhale as you come up. And just stay like that for a couple of seconds in that pose. So your arms are around your ears. You're not aiming to touch your toes, okay? Your arms are around your ears. And what I'm going to do now, while you're sitting like that with your legs out, I'll just turn around. No, I won't. I'll show you this way. You just link your hands behind your back. Make sure you're sitting up on your sit bones and your shoulder blades are down. Link your hands, put your palms towards the mat, and just push them out behind you. Okay, so we're just opening up our chest here. So I'll show you from the front now. My arms behind me, and I'm just opening up the chest area. I'm not particularly squeezing the shoulder blades together. I'm just pulling my arms out because I want to open this area and just work my pecs a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my arms in front and push my palms forward. I'm not particularly leaning up into a C curve. I'm just sitting up straight and I'm pushing forward, and that's opening my back, and I can feel my back muscles working here. Okay, and then the final stretch we're going to go to before we close, because we're almost at 7:30, is going to lie back. We're going to have one leg bent and one leg up in the air, and I'm just going to really stretch this leg. So I'm going to point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, and I can feel my hamstrings working as I do this. So just point and flex. Okay, a few more times. Pop that leg down, bring the other leg up in the air. Don't bring it too far towards you. Try and keep it fairly straight, but always with a soft knee. So hands around the thigh, point and flex a few times. Oh, gosh, I can feel that in this leg. I think I ran the other day and I didn't cool down afterwards, which is not good, and I can definitely tell. So just point and flex a couple of more times. Okay, put your feet down and bring yourself to a sitting position, and then we're just going to finish off with a couple of, I'm going to sit almost cross-legged. You can sit however is comfortable for this. Make sure you're up on your sit bones, okay. We're just going to finish off with a couple of neck circles. Okay, so I'm just circling my neck one way and then the other way 2 or 3 times, nice and slow. We don't want to feel dizzy at the end of this. 3. Now I'm going to do a couple of arms and shoulder circles. Just take my shoulders back, bring my shoulders forward. Okay, then bring yourself into a standing position. So however is easiest for you to get up. Okay, and I'm just going to step through on the balls of my feet. So on the ball of my right foot and then my left foot. So I'm just working my ankle joints to finish. Okay, and then I'm doing a couple of sweeps down. So we sweep down and back up, and sweep down and back up. And on the third one, as you come up, put the palms of your hands together and say namaste. And I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this, and over the last 6 or 7 weeks that we've done these Pilates classes together. And do look out for my Zoom classes, I'll post on here. Thanks guys, bye bye.